200 to the dollar. I'm being joined by guests now. Sir Ikechi Wogu is no new name. He's not new to the Nigerian for family. He joins me via telephone for this discussion. Sir Ikechi, good to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, let's take it from the beginning. I mean, when you first heard about the Naira redesign, what did you think?
Oh well, to start with, I like the idea of having the Naira really beautiful. I remember how much I longed for that as a child. I did understand the economics of money redesigning, especially as regards the Naira. Now, the first thing I do is to ask why. But then with friend leagues, business partners, associates everywhere, and then also reading up stuff. The first thing is, what is the intention and why now? Why at the end of the year? Why at the tail part of an administration? And what is the intention of government? What is the gain? What do they hope to achieve? And all of these things will cloud my mind for a decision like this. Yeah.
And with how the Naira has been fluctuating, for quite a number of days, that means at least since this news broke, it's been very interesting. A dollar moved to 880 Naira, later dropped to 680 Naira, and it's just been up, down since then. And who knows? And that's what the EFCC boss was saying, who knows? It might even drop down to 200 Naira. What do you think is the implication of this redesign on our currency value?
Okay, so like I would say, intentions. I think it's really a big embarrassment to the government of the day. You remember that this was the same government that came up with a very, very lofty postulation that they would make the Naira 1-to-1 with the dollar. At the time they were taking over, the Naira had crashed to 190, 200, 210 to the dollar. And like Nigerians couldn't wait for a change of administration, for the new administration to come on board. And, I remember back then a lot of Nigerians who had dollars stashed in their wardrobes and all that began to bring them out because there was a new look to, the corruption thing. It became, really, really sad. The Naira dropped to 360 for a long time to the dollar. And up until last year, it was about 500 and something to the dollar. And this year, there was a free fall. There have been a lot of interventions. You remember when we had to route the Naira through the yuan, the Chinese yuan.
Right.
There were floating currency measures and all that. So the CBN has tried out a lot of things. There's been more of experimentation with the Naira. And then, boom, came this one, at which time the Naira was 600 and something, 700, 720, then 800. And then with the news of the redesign of the Naira, it grew all the way to 900. And, pundits were postulating that the Naira could get up to 1,000 for the end of the year, especially ahead of the election. Now, you would also note that a lot of the dismay that came on the Naira happened after the party primaries. Because, of course, you would hear that this party gave delegates XY amount of dollars, even amounting to some $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 per delegate. And so they had to move up some foreign exchange. And the moment that the production level of Nigeria slowed a lot owing to insecurity and disinterest, and of course, the general investment culture from foreigners. So foreign direct investment really dropped because, of course, when there's uncertainty in an economic environment, then investors don't want to come in because they may suffer loss of fidelity, loss of investment. And so it has been a roller coaster for the Naira. So the CBN coming up with this intervention, one will begin to ask, why that? But then it's clear from one of the remarks the CBN government made in one of their releases, we were told that Nigeria should enjoy no more than 1 trillion Naira in circulation. As it stands, we have more than 3 trillion Naira in circulation. Do not also forget about a cry that Governor Obaseki made a couple of months back, that the CBN had been, or the federal government had been minting money arbitrarily. Now let's not sweep that under the carpet. So a lot of things were accounted for. The overbloated issuance of the Naira. So if we need just 1 trillion Naira economy for circulation, why should we have 3 trillion? So you could create a list of why that would be. So you remember that Nigeria is an economy that is closely driven by cash exchanges. Okay, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi in his time, Chukwu Solomon in his time, mooted the idea of electronic transfers, okay, cashless policies and all that. And these things have been growing in effect, especially with the application of money transfer schemes and stuff. But Nigeria is still grossly, dominated by cash. Right? Kidnappers want you to make transfers in cash. Politicians want to give you cash, and all that. It's only civil exchanges, as it were, that seem to be, transferred in, the approved other means. And so this has led to a lot of, nairification of the economy, and this has led grossly to inflation. And so the CBN is saying, okay, we can reduce the amount of Naira in circulation. We can walk back to whatever instrument, whatever schemes we can recover the excess of 2 trillion Naira cash in circulation. And so what do? Let's redesign the Naira. So automatically, redesigning the Naira makes the existing Naira useless. You can't exchange with it. You can't buy and sell. So that in itself will create a ripple effect, which is fear. Everyone would want to return what they have from their farmhouses, their homes, from their wells, from their wardrobes, everything called cash. We're hoping that as much as 2 trillion Naira would have been recovered. Now, start with paying the money back into the banks. Start with having the records, because it's sad to note that as we speak, it's only speculative. The CBN doesn't actually have a proper record of all of the money that is outside. Now, that these monies are numbered, and they have lost track of all of this because of what is happening. Still only of the Naira in circulation, and let's begin to restore sanity to that sector, which is what has led to all of the drama over the past few weeks. But there was some bit of maybe mishap or dismay, even though they had also expected that. They said some smart or otherwise, they use the word ignorant Nigerians out of the panic would say, oh, I'm a smart person, so why don't I buy dollars instead? They had expected that. So they'll buy a lot of dollars with the announcement, feeling that, okay, at the end of December, at the end of January, December 25th, the new Naira notes will be released. And then at the end of January 31st, the old Naira notes would no longer be required in circulation. So now I have bought so much dollars, I can buy an exchange. So that made the demands king, as it were. And then, of course, price escalation. Almost every man was selling dollars at any value they wanted. To the end that right now, as I speak with you, dollars are scarce. Okay? Dollars are scarce. You can scarcely come across dollars in cash. And so the CBN kept toughening measures and coming up with new measures. But this is the expectation. The expectation is clear. The season would ease into another season when they would realize that was a mistake. Because the dollars will not easily be paid back into the banks without some proper monitoring, without some other policy measures which they will introduce with time. And then, guess what? Those with dollars in their hands would want to dispose of the dollars. Now, those who have paid Naira into the bank will not get back the exact value. So I paid 100,000 Naira into my bank account. I can't get back 100,000 Naira in cash. Okay, I'll get only what amount the CBN has approved for cash transfers. Otherwise, I should be ready to pay charges. So you pay, excess withdrawal, and then there are charges. So I should expect charges and all that, which will be discomforting to some extent, for which I'll just be discouraged. Be forced back into the cash transfers, into the electronic transfer. So all of this seems like a lot of jargon.
We'll have to take a very quick break at this time. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, the conversation will continue. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. right here on your number one station for Talk 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Gabriella. On this hour, we're talking about the Naira redesign. According to Abdul Rashid Bauer, who is the EFCC chairman, in a recent interview, he was saying that the Naira, dollar may crash to 200 Naira. With the fluctuations that it has been experiencing since the news of the redesign of the currency was announced. According to him, it should be done every 8 years, but I think it's been 20 years since the last change was done to our currency, according to him. The notes that are going to be redesigned are 1,000 Naira, 200 and 500 Naira denominations. The CBN governor announced this on the 26th of last month, and since then it's been making the rounds for conversations amongst Nigerians. My guest...
Thank you, Governor.
So just before the break, we touched on you touched on a lot of things, really. One of the things you touched on, I'd like to just bring to the fore for a minute. Many Nigerians indeed have been asking questions about, is this not a political decision? Is there no political motive behind this? Why now? Why at this time? And I know you also asked that question. I mean, it's towards the end of the year. Why now? In as much as there's been talks about how it is not politically motivated, but what do you think about that school of thought?
Oh, well, I personally, I think anyone who thinks that way may not be thinking out of the blues, because, like we had pointed out earlier, there has been a lot of abuse of the Naira. So, for whatever purposes, I would want to hail the move by the CBN this time around as maybe something commendable for one time, maybe out of a lot of trials, because everyone is in some bit of shock. You would hear it said in the media that a number of politicians have now been forced to either recruit more personnel, and then they are forced to pay out cash. Everyone just wants to dispose of the cash in his wardrobe. Okay, it's amazing that some politicians in Nigeria have, saved up a lot of cash ahead of the elections, because most of what we do in the electoral period in Nigeria is vote buying and all that, and this is not done with electronic transfers. It's done with physical cash, raw cash, across polling centers and all that. So if it is done with a political consideration, then it affects everybody. This time around, I'm not sure the federal government is thinking of any political party. It's a habit for everyone. You see votes being sold for 5,000 naira, 7,000 naira, 10,000 naira, of course, depending on whose vote is being bought at the time. So, yeah, but for me as an individual, I think there is too much Naira in circulation, and that has led to a huge sense of the inflation that we all suffer. We all do suffer it. And then when you want to get around cities of the world, you almost are ashamed. The Naira is losing worth and losing value. And you want to pray that the CBN comes up with measures, intelligent measures, globally accepted measures to give some bit of strength and value to the Naira. You want the prayer of the federal government to be met. Even if at worst, if they can't achieve 1-to-1 with the dollar, let them take it back to the 200. They want $1 to 200 Naira that they met it. And I would say very clearly the ambition of the EFCC chairman is rather ambitious, because there are no facts and policies on ground to really make that happen, because a great sense of that is hinged on inflows, hinged on production. So you realize that Nigeria is grossly an import-driven economy. You have almost every good or service imported, including toothpicks. It's an embarrassment to import toothpicks, pencils, paper, and these are things that can be produced here. Okay, woodwork back in the day, in the late 70s and the 70s, in the early 80s and all that, Nigeria was reasonably productive, and we only needed to grow there and go beyond that level. What had happened to our industries? Whether from textile to manufacturing generally, and of course with the rate of immigration from Nigeria, you would also even the human resource that we used to have is fast getting in short supply. Okay, so a lot needs to be done. Now we import goods from abroad, whatever country that is, and then most of the trains, most of the planes, most of the ships are empty. By the way, there should be an exchange. So I bring in stuff, I send stuff. We all had cases where they had to load up the planes, okay, with a lot of junk, sometimes with stones and stuff, just for some stability to stabilize the weights and all that in the air. So all sorts of things. The economic sector in Nigeria has been discouraged to a very large extent, and those are real determinants of the exchange rate. The exchange of value beyond crude oil. Nigeria runs a mono economy. The only thing we seem to be exporting is crude oil and not even much of agri products. So if you want to bring the naira back to maybe $100 or something, it would go beyond the main policy of cash mop-up. Okay? If the CBN governor, if the EFCC chairman is saying that it's a wish, but what about the official rate? The terminals of the official rate are not the terminals of the black market rate. And right now, the concern of the CBN is actually to bring some parity. Okay? Once upon a time, if you go buy some dollars at the official rate, for example, you could get a dollar for 160 at official rate, and the black market rate is 161, 162, sometimes 160, 50 kobo.
Yeah.
It was that close. But today, it's almost double. I mean, at 450 naira, 447 naira, okay, you're getting the dollar at official rate. At the black market rate, you're getting it for 870. That's double.
Yeah.
That's double. Okay? And so the CBN is saddled with the responsibility of first matching the values before they even talk about, lowering the values beyond what it is currently at the official market. And these are concerns, really.
Indeed, they are. And I mean, still talking about the value of the naira, this has been a concern for as long as we can remember. I mean, there's been, of course, in this dispensation, there's been inflation several times, not just one time have we suffered inflation, but the value of the naira has always maybe plummeted, might be such a strong word to use at this time, but has always experienced this drawback, I would like to open the phone lines right now. I'd like for you to also join the conversation. What are your thoughts about this? How do you feel about the redesign of the naira, and what do you think can be done to sustain and improve the value of our currency? That is my big question for today. A smart number is 070-0923-0923. I'll take that again, 070-0923-0923. That is the number you can call. WhatsApp number is 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. How do you think we can actually sustain and improve the value of our currency? We're streaming live on Facebook as well at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, also on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. Let me also throw this question to you, Sir Ikechi. How can we improve the value of a currency? Because I mean, you've mentioned quite a lot of things already, in terms of the CBN governor, taking up that responsibility to do something. And indeed, I totally agree with you. But when it comes to practicality, what are some of the expectations Nigerians should have? In what direction should we be looking to see some change? Yeah.
2 days ago, on the radio, I think 2 days ago, there was a hot conversation about buying Niger to grow Niger. Okay, so you have a situation now where there is little value for made in Nigeria products, not because we're not delivering quality to the extent to which it is required, but because there is a lot of distrust for what is made in Nigeria. So we have software engineers, for example, who have products, who can code, who can offer value for goods and services, but who prefer to go outside. Of course, there is a comparison also when they use the telco sector. They have, once upon a time, a telecom service provider owned by the Nigerian state, and then we liberalized the market and we brought in foreign telcos, and today you can see that every one of us has a mobile phone, and it seems like telecommunications is working now. So there's diminished trust for the Nigerian product. But then there has to be some bit of encouragement here and there, some bit of balancing of the trade margins between what is imported and what is exported and what is produced, what is consumed locally. Because it's embarrassing to know that we can scarcely grow our own food because there is insecurity. Women are raped in the farmlands and all that. Okay, and so we sometimes resort to neighbor African countries even to buy things like tomatoes. Okay, sometimes, it goes on and on. Okay, and there is gross discouragement of production, not just by the government. The government doesn't do too much to encourage commerce and industry. Okay, you can visit the state and federal ministries of commerce. You go with a homegrown, locally manufactured product, and sometimes they make mockery of you. You go for trade shows, sometimes, the sense of acceptance you want, the sense of acceptance you desire for your locally manufactured goods will not be there as compared to other times where they find you an innovator and everyone celebrates you. They make it a policy statement. Look, everyone, we can patronize this product. It's our own. Let's be proud of it. Let's wear it in a Nigeria fabric, made in Nigeria shoes and clothes. And all those things will strengthen the production sector in Nigeria. The whole food production, you see how scarce the bag of rice is. Where are the names we used to hear some 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago? Most of those names are nowhere to be seen now. There's still some bit of smuggling of rice. It seems as though for the elites, let's get foreign rice. And so everyone wants to be elitist to some extent. And so they look in the way of the behavior of rice, and I believe that most of these things tend to only discourage production. And when there is no production, there cannot be sufficient export. And when there is insufficient export, then you don't expect the Naira to gain on the foreign currencies. And that's just a simple way I want to look at it right now.
All right, let's take some comments on WhatsApp. This one here is from Nestle. Nestle from Port Harcourt sends this in and says, Gabby, many of the persons managing our economy lack the knowledge and skill to stabilize it or even improve the value by ensuring that our exports increases and our imports decreases, which is very simple economic measure to take us to where we need to be economic wise. Thank you very much, Nestle, for your thoughts. I think that's what Wogu just reiterated now. All right, let's get to the phone lines. Remember, the number to call is 0709 0923 0923. That is 070 0923 0923. Good evening. You're welcome. Hello. All right, I lost that call. Please do well to call back. Fegabo Cliff on WhatsApp says, I guess the only solution is to sustain and improve the value of the Naira is having the right individuals in position of trust and leadership. Again, I ask, when I hear such a recommendation, where do we find these people of trust and leadership, such individuals? Where do we find them? All right, please do all to call back. Mr. Wogu, do you want to respond to that? And that really is an honest question. Many times we say, oh, we need good leaders. We need people who will be responsible. We need a leader we can trust, somebody credible. And I keep asking, where do we find them? It seems as though they're hiding somewhere in the bush and we need to go scout for them. What do you think?
Okay, so it's all about political will. You could have an intelligent professor somewhere in the university who's a guru in economics, but you refuse to appoint him simply because maybe he belongs to another political party, or in the course of the electoral campaigning season, he made a comment that didn't suit you, it didn't go down well with you, and so you refuse to use him. Okay, apart from that, you could have the best of individuals serving your purpose. Remember that most of our presidents have not been experts at economics. And so they really may not understand the economics of things, so they resort to advisors, right? Sometimes the man in power could refuse to accept the advice of the advisor. They remember very well in the recent past when they were discussing the thing called redenomination of the Naira. So they felt they could knock off. It was under the administration of Chukwuma Soludo, the CBN governor then, it was Yar'Adua as president. And then